Hi, and welcome to my channel. I'm happy to be here with you. So, today I'm here unscripted. This is a blank canvas, is a table, because I want to have a conversation with my Nigerian women. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about what it is like to do a hair business as a Nigerian woman in Nigeria. And we're also going to explore some opportunities outside of Nigeria. So I know for you to be watching this video, it means you intentionally searched for something related to hair. Maybe you have been doing hair and you want to improve on something, or you want to get into the hair business, but you want to know more. You are in the right place because I am giving you my own first-hand experience, my own advice based on what I've seen, what I've known, and based on the coaches I have engaged and experts I have worked with and I'm still working with. So welcome to this side of YouTube. My name is Uma, the owner and founder of Pama Beauty Hair. You can search us on internet. You're going to find me so many places. I've been featured on two places, Leading Ladies Africa and Business Women Hub. And we're striving to get more features. Why? Because I want to be able to assess you more in places that matter to you. Okay? So let's get right to it. The hair business. As you know, it's a multi-billion dollar business, no doubt. But you might say, oh, it's saturated. Yes, it's saturated. But have you thought, for it to be saturated means that there's a market for it. So there are people who are investing in their wigs, in their hair, year to year. And you think that maybe because there's a recession, people are not buying. No, my darling, you are probably just not marketing well. And as I'm speaking to you, I'm also speaking to myself. Okay. So first things first, doing business in Nigeria. I am particular about Nigeria because this is where I am currently operating from. And I want to give you this knowledge that I have, not based on what I have read in the books, but based on my own experience. Okay. The beautiful thing about hair business or beauty business is that it is a low barrier, like it has a low barrier to entry, meaning that you don't need to have so much money to be able to start this business. So you can start this business. I don't like to say zero naira because you're going to need money to at least text a couple of people or send people some messages to say, hi, support my business, or hey, I currently do this business, or hey, I can help you with this, right? So, but in the real sense of the word, you can literally start with zero naira. You don't have to own any products to go into this business. So let's get right into it. So there are two types of people: the people who want to start by buying a portion or some wigs to begin with, and those who don't have. These are people you have under the category of drop shippers. Okay. Now, drop shippers do not own anything, okay, but they take pictures or product pictures from people who supply wigs to them, or people who they look up to, or from the internet, which I personally don't subscribe to, because that is why you have a lot of what I ordered versus what I got. Because you don't know the quality of the hair that you're seeing or picking or downloading online. And then when you have someone, so which means you can't even quantify it. You can't say this is the actual value of this wig. You might just look at it and put a guess price like, okay, it's 100,000 naira, for example. And then by the time you go and realize that it is either way above your budget, or or it is even more, or the hair costs less than maybe what you had given as a price. Okay, so yeah, so drop shippers is the easiest way to start. So for me, I would always say, before you invest into any venture, test the waters. Test the waters. And there are things you need to do in the testing waters phase. First thing you need to do is get knowledge. Sis, you can tell me that you have to pay so much money to to get a certificate, or you have to pay so much money to learn things. This channel you are watching currently, it is free. At least I have not said pay for it at the moment, right? And for whatever it is somebody is ready to give you paid version for, there is some basic information out there that you can start with. So start with that. Start with understanding what hair is. Start with understanding how hairs are made. Start with understanding where they are gotten from. Start with understanding the types of hair, how to differentiate them, the different styles, the different, excuse me, patterns. Start with that. Okay, this is what you do when you're testing the water. You have to know if this is something I really want to pour my heart into, because as much as you might call it a side hustle, it can generate tons of money. Read my lips, tons of money. All right, and I wouldn't want you to just waste it away just saying, looking small up to it, saying it's just a side hustle. Sis, it can make you so much money that you can ever imagine. All right, so in the testing waters, you have to understand you're going to make your own mistakes. I'm sorry to break it to you, but as much as you are going to learn from people, sometimes you are going to form your own ideas based on your own experience. You are going to have your own share um experience you to experience you're going to have your own share of experiences to make, okay, based on your mistakes. One, because you may attend to different types of customers, you might try different options of bargains, you might, want to do something because you're just starting and you want people to patronize you, so you're going to fall into a lot of trap, like, okay, you know what, let me just give you the product and I trust that you're going to give me the money, and that does not happen. Okay, meanwhile some people will say this works for them, but for you, you realize that this does not work for you, so you can find your own pattern. The beautiful thing about having coaches and experts around you is that you get to learn from their mistakes. Okay, so you get to understand, okay, this, I'm able to do this better, but you will still make your own share. Don't fall for that to say you never make mistakes. You are still going to learn your own way. You could actually say, okay, let me take this kind of pictures, maybe from, because I'm starting out, I don't have my own wigs, I keep taking from people. But how about, did you know that you could literally engage those people, go to their shops or go to where they are, take these product pictures yourself? Did you know that could make it more personal? That is going to bring in the you in the business, which automatically becomes a brand. Did you know that? So yeah, these are some things like this. But again, we want to consider the cost. But yeah, that's part of the risk we have to take in life, sweetheart. Sorry to break it to you, but we gotta take risks if we want to achieve the things we want to achieve in life. Okay. So in this phase where you are testing the waters, it's a period for you to understand, is this something I want to invest in? Do I like this? Women, we are stressful. I'm not going to lie, because you might say, okay, people love straight wigs. Let me go and stock straight wigs. Then you put plenty pictures of straight wigs and somebody says, I want coily. So this is going to now inform your decision on who are the kinds of people that are typically buying from me. I'll give you an example. When I started this business, I thought to myself, where do I begin? I'm not a loud person, so I don't really like to wear so many popping colors, and people are looking at me like, wow, strange, right? I love dark tones of every color shade. I don't know how to explain that to you, but as much as I love dark tones, you will never find a blue hair or a pink wig on me, except it's just going to be like a strand of a pink just to like add some aesthetics to it. But yeah, that's it. So I sat and I asked myself, who are the people around me? Who are the current contacts I have that I know that I'm going to be selling value or giving value to them? Okay, and I just realized, okay, bunch of people I have on my contact list are corporate women. And so I started, my messaging was wigs for corporate ladies, and I still do. But as time goes on, you get to expand and enlarge your target audience based on how you resonate with you, or how they resonate with your business. All right. So you need to test the waters. And I say, when you're testing the water, try to be under mentorship with someone you truly admire, okay, and you truly take their words seriously. Just don't just do it because this person is cheap, or like, I mean, if you have to pay for it. But again, I said there's some free content out there. You could just pick one person you really love and listen to this person over and over and over again, and follow them, ask them questions. I am sure people will be ready to help, and I am always here. You can ask me anything. Whether you are in Nigeria or not, I would be ready to answer. All right. So that's that. You have to test the waters. When you've tested the waters for at least 6 months, then you can then say to yourself, I want to invest. Okay. So another tip I'm going to give to all of you, my dropshippers out there listening to me right now. It's great that you have suppliers, mentors who are sending you product pictures, but it is marvelous when you find the time to go to take these pictures yourself. When you go, you feel the hair yourself, you touch them, you begin to understand textures, you begin to understand feel. It's not when they just, sometimes there are things that cannot be quantified online with words. Like when someone says the feel of this thing, sometimes you need to feel it, so that when you speak to your audience, or when you speak to your customers, or when people come to you to make an inquiry, you are speaking from the place of knowledge. You are giving them informed knowledge. All right, now you have finished testing the waters and you say, I'm ready to go into this. Let me tell you, the moment you make that decision, so many things are coming for you. What are you going to do when you have done all you think is right and then you are not selling? You may ask me, ah, how now? How is that going to work? Yes, my darling, you might think you've done everything like we always do. We always think we've done everything, but no, you have not even done so much, okay? Um, the hair business is more than just posting beautiful wigs, it's creating a lifestyle for people. This year, I told my team that we're just going to be doing strictly lifestyle marketing. But I will tell you what that means in my next video. But posting wigs on mannequin like what you can see here, it's not enough. Sometimes people want to see what it looks like on them. Okay. Sometimes people want to understand, will this fit my face shape? Will this fit my skin color? So you are going to be giving out educational content. You're going to come out to be talking about your business. You are going to, there's something we say in Nigeria, you're going to carry your matter on top of your head. Okay? So you are literally going to be talking about it. So this is what I do, this is how I do it. People want to know you, people want to get to know you. It's very easy to fall into the trap of looking at what everybody is doing. Some people are dancing, and maybe another dancing person like me. Once in a while, I get into that mode and I just do it. Some other people are just shouting, they're just shouting everywhere. And then, sometimes you may also think the business, the whole sales is on Instagram. No, the whole sales is not on Instagram. Or you think that the whole sales is on Facebook. No. Or you think that going on Facebook, Instagram, all of these places, you just have to be posting hairs. You really need to be social with your audience. You really need to get to know them. You really need to engage with them. You really need to help them before you start making the money. When you help somebody and you tell the person, I'm going to charge you this XY amount of money to be able to get this more value, they're going to pay because they can see that from this free one you are giving them, it's already so much value. So they're just imagining what it's going to be like when they have to pay for it. I don't know if this makes sense to you. So when you finally decide that, you know what, I've tested the waters and I'm ready to go into this business full time, there are lots of things you're going to consider. When you're going to consider, what type of audience do I need to sell to? Now, already in the testing phase, you explored a couple of audience. Whether you did that directly or indirectly, the bottom line is you were able to understand how each of these people buy. So you need to understand your target audience. Where do they go? What do they do? Where do they live? Who do they listen to? How do they like to dress? How do they like to express themselves? What are their challenges? What are their what kind of success stories do they like to tell? What would be that one thing that with this business of yours, it will make them feel alive? You need to understand them, you need to know them. Okay, so when you've known them, you now get to choose which of these people you want to serve. I would always advise, start from people within your circle. They are the easiest to sell to. It is easier to get to sell to someone who already knows you than selling to somebody who is not known you at all, no experience with you, right? It's easier to sell to somebody who knows you, even if they just have your phone number. It is easier. So you start with the audience that already know you, start with the people you're already engaged with. So this is not the time for when you just join groups and just stay calm. I used to be like that, oh. I used to be very calm, but now, I'm no longer calm. Wherever I find myself, you just gotta know me, okay? Let people know you for who you are, for what you do, all right? So, yes, I always say start from the audience that you already know, that you already resonate with. So, if you're a student, obviously the many more people the people you're majorly going to have around you are students like you. Look around them. Look around that student community. What do they need with regards to the business you are doing, which is the business of hair? What are their greatest problems? What are their challenges? What do they say or how do they feel when they get excited or satisfied with a hair purchase or with their hair? Then you can use this as a selling point to them, right? As your value proposition to them, and then you can market to them. Okay. Then another thing you're going to learn is how do I market to these people? How do I reach these people? Is it via social media? Is do I have to own a website or some kind of place where they have to shop, even if you do not own like the domain itself? Do I have to sell on other selling platforms like maybe Jumia or Shopify or Amazon or Etsy? Okay, you need to understand how do I what's going to be my marketing strategy. That's a better word. What's going to be your marketing strategy? It's a lot. And the best thing about marketing strategy and the hardest thing about marketing strategy is execution. The moment you move from the planning phase to execution, now you start winning. You may not start seeing results the first month you did it, but I tell you, like results as in probably sales, but I tell you, you are beginning to create tracks, you're beginning to create marks, you're beginning to build a web of you and your business in the minds and hearts of people. And by the time people continue to watch and continue to see you, with time they know, oh, she's here and she can offer me this service. And I absolutely love it. But they can't make that decision if they're not seeing you. Okay? And always understand, we make this mistake a lot. I made that mistake. You tend to think social media is a place where you come and sell. Social media is a place to be social. Okay? Social media is a place to be social. It's like how people mistake marketing and sales. There are two different things, even though they coexist with each other. Your marketing efforts can result to sales, but it does not necessarily have to also result to sales. Okay, marketing is preaching your own gospel to people. It's telling people, "Hey, see me, I'm here. I can do XYZ for you with XYZ." When you are marketing, you were not allowed to talk about the benefits, the features of the product. You were supposed to talk about the benefits. So as much as you list the features, mention them in a way that you are listing the features and how it is beneficial to them. Always remember, your customers are selfish. Nobody buys from you just because you said so. They buy from you because you were solving their need. Think about what kind of needs are you solving, which takes us back to, this is after you've understood the target audience or the market or the people you want to serve. All right. Then you have your marketing strategy, your social media. And I would advise, as much as we are now more digital than ever, still have some kind of offline activity. But again, because you were just starting out, because we're just starting out, we take it one at a time. We need to be able to understand one platform, then before we enter the other platform. I don't believe in spreading myself too thin, except you have the budget. If you have the budget enough for it, then you can get people to help you manage others, because doing everything by yourself, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work doing everything by yourself. Okay. So yeah, now we've understood our target audience, we've built a marketing strategy. Now we have to also talk about our distribution channels, right? These people you want to reach, where do they meet? How do we meet them? How do we communicate to them? How do we sell to them? There's a lot that has to go with sales and distribution channels. There's just a whole lot. Okay. Then we now have to talk about packaging. You might say this comes before, but I'm just talking to you. Like I said, this is unscripted. I don't have any book I'm looking at, but I'm just talking to you based on my experience. Now, how do you package your product? How do you package your product? Do you just do it anyhow and just say they should understand because you just started? No, there's still some inexpensive way to package right. What is your packaging about? Okay, do you just give it to them in an empty bag or an empty box, an empty nylon, and they just go? No, sis, they need to be preaching the gospel for you where you cannot go. You know what I mean? So you need to have your branded packaging. Okay, and we're going to talk more about that when we get the opportunity to talk about details on packaging and what you should do. There's some local packaging you can still do within your locality, and it will make all of the difference, at least for the start. Just remember, nobody ever starts out perfect. Take consolation with that. Nobody ever started perfect. When I started with just 7 weeks, just 7 weeks. But now I have a bunch of wigs, I have a bunch of products. I now have shelves where I have to shelf them, and I'm still looking for space. Do you understand? So nobody ever starts out perfect. And trust me, you are going to get better each passing day. That's the goal. The goal is to make sure that you are getting better. You are not the same person you were. You're not doing business the same way you used to do them. Okay. But you are evolving, you are improving, you are growing. All right. Then another thing you're going to learn is you have to be patient. You have to be patient. You have to trust the process. You have to believe in yourself. Okay. So all of these things are detailed. I have an ebook I wrote for beginners in the beauty industry. All of these things I stated there and so much more information. I'm going to put a link to that ebook in the description below. So I need you to take your time. It's not much. I poured out my heart to it. And of course, if you need extra guidance, I would absolutely love to see your questions on areas you would want me to talk about, starting your own hair business especially if you are in Nigeria, and even if you are not in Nigeria, I can help. And if I can help, I've got experts, I've got a team of people who can help us with this. Okay, so I would love to hear from you. I would love to know what challenges you're currently facing. We're going to take this one step at a time. We cannot exhaust everything in this video. This is just the beginner's guide. This is just something for you to know. This is just to like help you focus your steps in the right direction. All right. And until next time, stay good, slay, and always look your best. Take care.